Hello Internet. This is a quick tutorial on variable declaration in Python. First off, what is a variable? A variable is just like a container used in storing data values, right? Like, like in JavaScript, Python has a flexible way of naming variables. Python doesn't have to initialize its variable with something like let, var, or const, like you have it in JavaScript and in some other languages. With Python, it is very simple and easy. Take, for instance, a here is a variable holding the value or the data man, right? Placed in between two double quotes. In Python, it is very simple and easy to name variables. Python has adopted different naming methodology for naming variables. For instance, we can have Pascal casing methodology, which looks something like you having probably you want to name a variable called say a car. You can say my car model Toyota RAV4 2022. If you notice in this case, in this naming methodology, you have the beginning of every word that you've put together for readability's sake. You have the beginning of every word in capital letter. Is welcomed is a welcomed pattern in naming variable in Python. Another case is where you have something called Camel casing. This is an instance when you have the beginning of the first word amongst the words you are putting together in lowercase. For instance, my car model is Toyota RAV4 222, right? This is called camel casing in naming methodology, and Python accepts this. And another one is snake casing, where you have two or three words joined together with an underscore. For instance, you can have something like my car model, all the words in lowercase, right? So let me put this snake casing. An instance of this is say my underscore car model equal to, then you should not forget to put your quotation mark. Let me quickly say this before I type in this. Python doesn't care if you use whether a single quotation mark or double quotation mark. It could be something like this. Right? It's accepted in Python. All right. My underscore car underscore model is the variable. I'll send Toyota RAV4 222 model. Right. That is it in Python. Like I said initially, it is very flexible. You can name it anyhow. You can as well start a Python variable with an underscore. Python variable accepts alphabets, numbers, and underscore. It doesn't accept symbol. And also note this, you cannot start a Python variable with number. You can either start with an underscore or a letter. For instance, a welcomed variable in Python is something like, say, underscore my underscore name. This is very welcomed in Python. All right. So that's the way of naming variables in Python. I hope you have learned something from this. Moving forward, let me quickly give you an exercise for us to wrap this up. I show you an exercise to demonstrate how variables are declared in Python. I'd like to quickly share with you steps to solving problems in programming. I mean, like if you have a task or a problem to solve in Python, or you have a program to write, the first thing to do is you have to ensure that you read and understand the problem very well. Then the next thing is to break the problem down into chunks and now address or tackle each chunk step by step as one after the other. After tackling the first step, you test it to ensure that there is no bug or there are no errors, right? So we'll go through this step in solving this or little exercise I'll be showing you to demonstrate Python variables, right? Or to demonstrate how to declare Python variables. And the exercise is we'll be calculating the age of a person in days, right? Steps to solving these problems are, you can see I've thought about it, I've broken it into chunks. Then look at it. The first step is to collect the person's birth year, right? To collect the person's birth year, right? I'll be doing, say, let me give it to this, to a variable. I'll be using the snake casing, right? This is birth underscore year equal to, then there's this method in Python that you can use to collect information or collect data from a user, which is the input method. All right. Use the input method to collect data. Like you say, enter, and it must be in quotation mark because it's whatever information collected with input is a string. You can say enter your birth year. And put an exclamation mark or a full stop, then a space. Right? There's an error here. This is going to collect the person's birth year and say and store it inside in this variable birth year. And after collecting the birth year, the next thing to do is we can store the current year in another variable. I think let's quickly do that. I'm going to use Pascal casing for that as current year, which is equal to 2023, right? Then the next thing to do is we need to subtract the current, sorry, the person's year, birth year from the current year. And for us to do that, I think I need to mention this before moving forward. Like I said that whatever you collect with an input or with an input method, it's a string. And one thing in Python is it's type jealous. You cannot subtract a string from an integer. The current year is an integer. The birth year is a string. So for us to be able to subtract the birth year from the current year, I have to convert the birth year into an integer. I'll be doing more discussion on this. That's type conversion or casting in future classes. So for me to convert the birth year into an integer, there are several ways of doing it. But let me just show you a quick one. All I need to do is it's either I enclose this method into the int method. I just type int, open the bracket, and close the bracket here. That's the easiest way for me to do it right now. Then with this, the the program won't flag any error, right? So let's just go ahead and subtract the birth year. Sorry, yeah, the birth year from the current year. That's easy to do, and we are going to give this to another variable called answer equal to, all right, equal to so the birth year. Sorry, the current year, you can see it's suggested for us immediately. Subtract the birth year from it minus the birth year. Right. So we've gotten this. What we just need to do is we then multiply the answer by 365 because we have 365 days in a year. So let's quickly do that. And immediately we can print that out instead of giving it to another variable. Or let me just give it to a variable. Just say age in days. I'll be using snake casing as well. Age underscore in days, right, equal to answer. Then in Python, multiplication is done using the asterisk, single asterisk like that, 365. Right. Then there's another method that we use to display our answer or to print out information or data or value in Python. And this method is the print method, right? So we're printing out age in days, age underscore in days. It's suggested for us already. I just press enter and that's it. Then for me to run this little application or this little program, the idea I'm using is PyCharm. In future classes, I'll be introducing you to, or I'll be showing you some other IDEs, like some persons preferred or some programmers prefer to use Visual Studio, while some will use Sublime Text. There are several other IDEs that you can use, but right now I'm using PyCharm, which is particularly designed for Python. So age in days, let's just go on to this play button and push the play button. The first thing we'll see is asking me to enter my birth year. Say my birth year is 1982. Then I push enter. So my age in days is 14,965 days. Thank you for this class. I hope you have learned something. And if you like this tutorial, I would like you to hit the like button below and as well as the subscribe button below so I can have first-hand notification on upcoming classes. For more information on variable declaration in Python, I will share with you a link in the description below. Just click it, visit this link and get this information. It's really going to help you a lot as a beginner in Python development. Thank you and God bless you.